Hi there, and welcome back to Grace Gardening. So today's video is just a quick update on exactly how all of my seeds have germinated, how they've started growing. Some have done better than others. I've used different techniques. Just want to show you exactly which ones have done well, which ones haven't, and a few mistakes I've made yet again this year. But I'm just going to show you around each one. As I say, some of them do much better than others, and I'll show you exactly what technique I used to plant all of these. So let's jump straight in. I'm just going to give you a quick update on each of these different plants in front of me now. Okay, as you can see, these are in a very bright sunny position. Might not be sunny right now, but in the UK we have had the best part of 2 weeks of non-stop sunshine. Sadly, today is not so. However, these are still getting plenty of light and warmth, which has really helped them germinate. So I'm just going to go around each one, show you what has been growing well and what they are. So first off, you can see these are my sunflowers. I popped 3 seeds in here. Here's our healthiest one, really starting to take off. And we've got 2 that have germinated in here, and we've got another 2 next to this one. So these are doing well. Here we have, and I didn't expect these to do so well so quick, these are the cayenne peppers, and one missing there. So I planted 8 and we've got 7 that have germinated. So not a bad return, not a bad ratio there. In fact, I pointed at it, I'm not looking at it properly, there it is, all 8 peppers have germinated. Nearly couldn't see that for looking then. However, next to it are the sweet colour spectrum peppers, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, got 4 out of the 8, so 50% return rate on those. Again, not bad. I don't need all 4 pepper plants, so quite happy with that. These are one of the first to germinate. These are my lettuce. As you can see, they've really started now. Each one of those is really starting. Well, I think we're getting close to being able to move these and pop these on. And if I just turn over the tray, just being gentle, but you can see underneath, these are the roots coming out the bottom already. So they are probably starting to get a bit pot bound already, and they're only in the seed and cutting compost, meaning there's not much goodness for them in here. So these will need potting on very soon. Coming along to here, these were well, I can tell just by looking at them, they are my marigolds. I just left that label on from when I first bought them, but these are seeds that I actually collected from from the marigolds from last year. Collected the seeds and potted them on. However, we've only got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only got 5 out of 12 there. So 5 out of 10 even, 50%. I can't even count today. But the ones that have, they're not bad. I don't mind having 5 marigolds. They look healthy. Now, when I mentioned about a few mistakes I made, I put these in and didn't label them. And I can only guess they must be my pumpkins. They're either pumpkins or courgettes, because you can't really tell at this stage. They look very similar. But the fact is, I can't find my pumpkins labelled anywhere, so I'm going to guess they must be my pumpkins. They do look like pumpkins, so I'm going to guess they are. But you can see, look how healthy they are. But these yellowing leaves tell me that in there is being exhausted, and it really needs to be potted on. So need to move them to bigger pots with some nice multi-purpose compost in to help them really grow on before they go in the ground in about a month's time. Just coming down in front of me, so this is one that hasn't done anything. This is Sweetcorn, and I think I used some old seed. I don't even think that's a Sweetcorn. It doesn't look like one, so I think that's a strange little weed in there, and there's not one sweet corn at all. So that's going to go down as a failure. These are 50% okay. I think a few more will still come. There's a new baby one just literally come out overnight. These are my beetroot, and there's mostly 1 per plug, apart from there's a couple where we've got 2. So they can either be separated or planted together, and they'll do just fine as a double next to each other. So I don't even think that's 50%. but I did sow some more, which I'll get to in a moment. Here's my moneymaker tomatoes. Do these every single year. They're looking fantastic, really healthy. We've got the first baby seedling leaf, and then as you see in the middle, they are the true leaf, meaning that that's now starting to establish itself. And yeah, if I smell those leaves, they already smell of tomatoes. Behind is two more, even healthier. So we've got 2 seeds per pot. They should be easy enough to split and separate before they go into the ground. And they are, again, another couple of money makers. Sadly, no watermelon in there or there. They haven't taken. They, again, were old seed. But this was a new technique I tried. Now, this one is a new technique I tried. And this is a pumpkin. I remember putting this one in. This one was seed and cutting compost within a toilet roll, only a couple of inches tall. I cut that in half. Then on the outside is the multi-purpose compost. And if you really look deep down into the soil, if this will focus, the roots have gone down the bottom, come out, and then they've come up again. So the roots are now starting to fill the entire pot, and this cardboard toilet roll tube will just slowly disintegrate and biodegrade anyway. Just coming down to these, we've got some cherry tomatoes. Again, that's looking very healthy. That's got the true leaves on it. There's a little baby one, took a bit longer. Here's another one. We've got plenty of these cherry tomatoes. So quite happy with my tomatoes, got enough of those. But here's what I'm really proud of, and these are my cucumbers. So these first 4, and maybe even these were called cucumber extra long. So the actual fruits themselves, the cucumbers, will be long and thin. So they should do well. I did really well with my cucumbers last year, so I'm hoping for the same again. Also, I reckon due to the slight yellowing on the leaves, they need potting on now. They're telling me they are ready. They need some more goodness. They need nutrients. They need to be in bigger pots. So they're ready. Next to them are the cucumber snack, or snack cucumbers. So slightly smaller, and each one will bear those little small cucumbers, which are only a couple of inches in length. Really good for snacking on, hence the name. So all of those have taken. There were 6 of those in. That one's lagging behind, but that's fine. It'll soon catch up. And then here is the new one. This is the one I'm really excited about. These are the Cucamelons. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a little baby one in there, just starting off. So they've all taken. These were the first 2 out. And as you can see, these are a lot smaller. And because the Cucamelon themselves are like baby little grapes, but taste of cucumber with a hint of lime apparently. So these should be interesting. Looking forward to seeing exactly what they're going to be like. Just behind here we've got the melons, melon ananas, I think it's called. And I put 2 in per plug or per pot, and every single one's taken. Or maybe we only got 1 in there. But that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 melon plants. Really happy with them. They've got the true leaves on also. So they're doing really well. They'll be getting potted on very soon. I just missed this tray. So this is onions, and this is a different way of growing altogether compared to everything else. They're not in their own individual plug or pot. So because the seeds are so tiny, and because you want so many of them, they're just scattered in this tray. Just kept them watered, and each one of these will become its own onion, which will be obviously just starting at the very base down there, which is interesting. Now, because my beetroot weren't germinating very quickly, these are some new ones I put in only a week ago, and they've taken much quicker. So I'll keep the cloche on top just to keep them warm and moist. So we've got quite a few beetroot in there. Doing very well. Put that back on. And then I did some more tomatoes, a few different types. So they are the red cherry. They've only just started. Again, these were only about a week ago. And then we've got the tumbling toms, which you put in your hanging baskets. They come over the side. There'll be just tons and tons of tomatoes tumbling out of the pot or the container or the hanging basket. So they're all doing quite nice. They're only the babies at the moment. That's just the seedlings. So I'm going to keep the cloche on for now. Keep them protected, keep them warm, keep them nice and moist. You can already see the condensation in there. So they are like mini greenhouses, these. Absolutely brilliant. So there we have it. They're doing okay. And then just on this table, I decided I actually forgot to do my courgettes. And we've got, these were only put in again a week ago. We've got one that came out last night, one that came out a few days ago, which is shot right up. And then I've got a bit of rocket just beginning in here, but I don't mind. These will soon catch up. Sometimes it's good to stagger your plants, but they're in individual pots. Again, just with a cloche on top to keep them nice and humid and moist and protected. So that's how we're growing so far. The only things that I haven't taken really are the sweet corn. So I'll try sowing some more. If not, I'll just have to buy some plug trays already grown from a local garden centre. They're not expensive and you do get an awful lot for your money. So sadly, sometimes you win some, you lose some. So I did want to just show you a quick demo exactly what I do of how I planted all of these seeds in. So get your pot or whatever medium you're deciding to grow them in. I like the individual little pots. It makes it much easier once they grow to then separate and pot on. But get your pot, get your seeds. So in this case, I'm just going to do a courgette just for an example. Here's our seed. This is just seed and cutting compost. So it's quite gritty, drains well. There's not much goodness in it because you want these seeds, once they germinate, you want them to really grow strong roots, go searching for the goodness. If you pack this pot full of the goodness, the roots don't need to go anywhere and they're not as strong. So get your seed of whatever you're growing, and I always just pop them normally in the middle, about 1 centimetre or 2 down, cover over with a bit of soil or the compost, very gently just tap it in, just to firm it in, water that, and then place in a nice sunny, bright, warm condition or position even, and then if you cover it with a cloche or just keep it warm and moist and humid, that will germinate in the next within the next 7 to 10 days, and before you know it, you'll have a nice looking plant like this ready to plant out once the weather gets a bit warmer. Okay, I did say it was just a quick video just to show you how all of these behind me are growing. I'm quite impressed with how quickly some of these are taken, but obviously the nice warm sun in the UK that we've had over the last 2 weeks has really helped bring these on. So some of these can go down to a greenhouse soon at the allotment, and some of them will stay here till the 2nd week of May when I'll be planting them directly into my raised beds at the allotment. So hope you've enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of thing, if you want to keep up to date and just check in on how things are growing and what's going on at my allotment, then please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment as well, like the interaction, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care everyone. Thanks. Bye bye now.